TeamBoydTV, and this is the regular season finale for GameTime.
Done.
Third season in the books. In the books. You did 3 seasons, man. And no. And then there was something special about the third season. Something special. Something spectacular about season 3.
Just like your Carolina Panthers are winning, so are you.
That's right. Something special about season 3. We're always gonna remember TeamBoydTV GameTime season 3. That's right. Let everybody know what's going on.
Okay, so last week you were 9-7, I was 10-6. But overall, you're 150-90, and I'm 146-94. So I'm 4 games behind. So last week, the Bills beat the Dolphins, your Panthers over the Saints, Bengals over the Vikings, Broncos over the Texans. Broncos taking out that record.
Right.
Titans over the Jaguars, Colts over the Chiefs, Cowboys over the Redskins, Jets over the Browns, Rams over the Bucks. Cardinals beat those Seahawks.
In Seattle.
In Seattle.
Make sure you throw that out there. In Seattle. We're going to come back and talk about that here in a second.
Giants beat the Lions. Patriots over the Ravens. Chargers over the Raiders. Steelers over the Packers. Eagles over the Bears. And 49ers over the Cowboys in the close down Candles.
That's right. Yeah, so, wow. I mean, look, week 16 was really good. We had, I think the NFL, they know what they're doing, man. They designed the schedule to make it look so you have to pay attention from week 1 to week 6. That's right. Yes, you have to pay attention. I mean, we had a lot of stuff going on. Tony Romo, right? Won his game being all heroic and whatnot. He got the herniated disc, so they claim. So he won't play in the final game against Philadelphia, which. Let's talk about that for a second, right? Because,
Did they hire the backup?
No.
Kittner?
Oh, they brought Kittner back to Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
41-year-old Kittner.
Right. Wow. Well, I mean, he just backing up Orton, right?
What's the point of that?
Well, just in case Orton gets a herniated.
Really? Kittner gonna come in and save the day?
Well, listen.
41-year-old Kittner.
This is what I wanted to talk about.
Let's just call Brett Favre.
You might as well, right? A vintage Testaverde. Right. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I thought was kind of special about this situation was we saw what happened not last week but the week before. Tony Romo choking up at the end of the game. Then he came back last week, did his thing, played through pain. He had an injury, he still won the game at the end of the game. And everybody was talking about Jason Garrett might get fired at the end of the season finale against Philadelphia if they lost, and all those questions about Tony Romo. Now, we get to this point where supposedly Tony Romo got an injury. Jerry Jones coming out talking about that Jason Garrett will not be playing for his job come Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles, right? I don't know, man. It sounds like a bunch of media spin to me. It really do. I don't know.
This is the thing that I know about the Cowboys. The Cowboys do just enough to keep the They do just enough to keep the
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end of the day, when it's do or die time, they never do. Right. They always die. Yeah. So whether Tony Romo was here or not, I'm fully expecting on Sunday for them to lose to me. That's what they were going to do anyway.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, they do this every year. Until they change the story, this is the only story I know.
I guess I didn't want to see the season finale game, Tony Romo sitting on his butt, with his head in this, helmet. I mean, that's
the last how many seasons we see?
3 or 4 seasons, yeah, that's what it's been like, So I don't know. Yeah, it really is, right? Now, the other thing is that every division is up for grabs, and I think that's by design. I think that's because of scheduling the way it just played out. But nobody has been crowned divisional champion until the close of this week's games, right? Which I find very intriguing. I think this right here is really cool. Not for a very long time. Not for a very long time. I mean, you had these powerhouse teams like Denver, Seattle, Kansas City. They still can easily. Well, I ain't gonna say easily because we got some scenarios we're gonna look at, but we're gonna talk about the scenarios. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the way it worked out. You know what I mean? And we're gonna look at the playoff picture as well. I gotta say, who that?
I'm not even going.
Who that? Look, I'm just saying. Look, I'm happy because and it kind of played out like everybody thought it was gonna play out. I mean, most people, except for the Panthers fans, we thought we would get the sweep. And, that's what we thought. You know what I'm saying? But That's what we was hoping for.
Okay.
We didn't get the sweep on New Orleans, but most people thought, most intelligent people thought New Orleans would get the win in New Orleans. Carolina would get the win in Carolina. It wasn't a blowout game by no means. It was a really tight defensive game. It was good.
Those tight defensive games are the games you need, though, that first week of the playoffs. They teach you a lot about how to overcome in crunch time.
Yeah.
I think it was great for Cam. He sucked the most of the game, but when it came down to it, when he needed to have that touchdown, he got it. And when it came down to it, Hickson caught it. So that's what you want from your team. You learn from those types of games. And I think it's better than them blowing the same out. I think this will further them along than it would a blowout.
Oh, absolutely. So now, can we add another moniker to Mr. Killer Cam? No, Super Killer Cam. That was Super
Killer Cam.
There's Super Clutch Killer Cam now. You know what I'm saying? Super Clutch Killer Cam. That's the man's name. And I want y'all to recognize him as such, because that's who he is. Okay, we'll say it one more time. Super Clutch Killer Cam Newton. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right. Well, you know what? No, we were talking about that. And as a matter of fact, the other day at work, I was having a conversation with Mr. Kraken Greg Hardy. We were talking about just that particular situation, about how when Steve Smith went down, everybody was like, oh my God, Smitty hurt. And I was watching the game, we said the same thing. One of these wide receivers who ain't really been doing, they've been playing mediocre all season. One of these guys gonna have to step up. One or more of these guys got to step up. Now, what I'm hoping for, I'm hoping that, this spark Dominic Hickson, which, look, this is good, because if Carolina can clinch that first round by, which they can, and we'll talk about the scenarios in a minute. They give Steve Smith 2 weeks to rest. He rests this week, he rests next week. He'll be ready to go in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, this is the time for Dominic Hickson to shine. It's time for Brandon LaFell to shine. It's time for Ted Ginn to shine.
Dominic Hickson should really be the one to kind of reign on the other. He's from a championship.
That's right. He got a Super Bowl ring.
So he should really be the one that's really calming these people down and helping them along the way.
I just got a feeling that, and when we're going to pick the answer, we'll talk about it more. I got a feeling that we're going to see the absolute best from the Carolina Panthers this Sunday on the road against the Atlanta Falcons, because they had a lot of trials and tribulations this season. I think it all culminates, and we see the real Carolina Panthers this Sunday, and this is what you'll give us a glimpse of what we're going to see in the playoffs, right? We'll talk about that later, right? What else is on the docket before we look at these? We're going to look at the playoff picture, and then we're going to look at some playoff scenarios. So if you had anything else that happened other than Greg Schiano denying the fact that he's been interviewing for the job at Penn State, which I do believe he is telling a flat-out lie. But what else is it?
Well, I wanted to ask you which coaches you think are going to get fired.
Well, definitely Greg Schiano. That's why you're already interviewing for jobs at Penn State. The other ones, a couple weeks ago we were talking about Mike Tomlin, which now I see what Glass is coming from when he was saying, no, they're not going to fire him. No, they're really not. Now, Jerry Jones came out the day before yesterday. Was it today? Was talking about that Jason Garrett was good. I think Jerry Jones is lying. I think Jerry Jones is full of crap.
Well,
we've seen Jerry Jones do the same thing with Wade Phillips. We saw this happen.
But this is the thing. I think if Tony Romo was playing, I do think he would be playing for the job.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think the fact that he's not playing and they have a backup quarterback, he's giving him a pass on it. I do.
I don't know.
Because Jerry Jones don't know what he's doing.
That's right. He has no clue about what he want to do. But Jason Garrett will get fired anyway. I think he's gonna be the next one to go. As much as I love Leslie Frazier, the culture got to change in Minnesota.
It's not Leslie Frazier. Stop that. It's a quarterback issue.
We done seen coaches get fired that really it wasn't their fault. Like, you think it was Lovie Smith's fault that Lovie Smith got fired last year, or you think it was Jay Cutler's fault that Lovie Smith got fired last year?
It wasn't Lovie Smith's fault.
Right.
But this is the thing. Leslie Frazier has had how many years?
This is his third season, right? Second. Okay, second. Okay. That's rule. Like, he was interim the first season, right? Yeah.
Give the dude another chance. I mean, Lovie Smith didn't have 2 seasons at Chicago. This is a 9-year process, and they were like, okay, piece it with it.
Minnesota's in bad shape.
Minnesota's in bad shape. One, because they don't have a quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
That's first and foremost. Right. And I don't care who you are, Bill Parcells, Coach Belichick, whoever.
Right.
Belichick, you can't win a game with a sucky quarterback. You cannot. This dude turns the ball over. He doesn't know how to manage the game. That's it. That's one of the crucial pieces in the game. Leslie Frazier gets a pass until they get a quarterback. You got Matt Castle there.
time bringing him in.
The Josh Freeman experience.
I think, you know, I was worried about Joe Philbin during the middle of the season when that old incognito stuff was going on. But then I saw Philbin pull that team together, so I think Philbin is all right.
I think Rex
Ryan is definitely going to end this season. Schwartz is definitely out of here. He's definitely out of here.
And the surprise upset, I think Coughlin is gone.
I don't think so. I think that will shed a negative light on the Giants organization if they do that.
Be fired. I think they're going to part ways. But I don't think he's going to be fired. Okay. I think it's going to end up nice tied in the bowl type of kick rock, settlement. But, you know,
I don't know, man. I would love to see Coughlin come back in this last season just to show everybody.
I'm sure you would.
I would love to see that. You know what I mean? I would love to see that. It did. It really did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that is fantastic. You know. Okay, that's cool. All right. So look, let's look at where we at in the playoffs right now, because we still got this Sunday's event. It's really going to settle it out and decide what's really going to be going on. But let's take a look and see what we're working with here. Let's see. All right, and I don't think we had no music playing, so, you know, there we go. So, right now, your number one seeds are as follows. You got the Denver Broncos, what was that? Was that the Patriots, right? Mm-hmm. Seattle Seahawks, and, well, number one seeds is Denver and Seattle, and then you got two at New England and Carolina. You got the Dolphins, Chiefs, Bengals, Colts, Saints, 49ers, Eagles. Now, Eagles, that one can be decided this Sunday.
Right.
Because that could be Dallas.
Right.
With John Kitna and Kyle Orton. You never know, right?
Yeah, right.
The Chicago Bears, I don't think they're really that much in jeopardy. We got to look at the scenarios and see, because I don't think they got much. Because, you know, everybody talking about Aaron Rodgers. He may come back and save the season or whatever the case may be.
Come back.
San Francisco clinched their playoff spot last night. Right. So they in there, right? They ain't, you know, and they ain't really got that much chance of movement, I don't think. But New Orleans and Carolina, they can move. New Orleans can actually go back up to the number 2 seed, and Carolina, if everything, you know, in these weird scenarios, can actually move into the number 1 seed. And we'll talk about this because the scenarios, some of them are kind of ridiculous. But I'm just saying, it can happen, right? Ravens back out again. You know what I'm saying? We were celebrating the fact that they had squeezed their way in. They're back out. But if the Bengals, I think it's the Bengals slip up, the Ravens are back in.
Is that it?
Yeah. So, you know, shout out to my boy JB. Because, you know, he wanted his Ravens to make it back to the playoffs. I want them to make it back to the playoffs. So then I look at the teams that are in there, like especially Miami, after everything they went through. I'm glad they're in there.
Yeah, I think if Miami slips up, then the Ravens.
Right. Yeah, so that's what the playoff picture look like right there. Now, let's look at some of these scenarios, right? And we got some scenarios. Okay. We got some scenarios, right? Let's look at them. So let's start with the AFC, right? So Denver, okay, they did clinch. They got the AFC West and the first round, but they're the only ones who actually got their division title, right? It's Denver, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then so Denver Broncos, if the Denver Broncos clinch home field advantage if they win or tie, right? Or if New England loses or ties, and then Denver Broncos get the home field advantage, right? Which they gonna win. The New England Patriots, if they win or tie, they can clinch a first round bye. Or if Cincinnati loses or ties. Or Indianapolis also tie, right? Plus. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Right, New England clinches home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs if New England wins and Denver loses, which is a possibility, right? What else we got here? We got the Cincinnati Bengals versus Baltimore, which is a really big game. If Cincinnati wins and New England loses, Cincinnati get their first round bye, which is the number 2 seed. The Miami Dolphins against the Jets. The Miami win and Baltimore loses a tie. Miami clinches the playoff spot. Miami really ain't really clinched yet. If Miami wins and San Diego wins or ties. You don't like this, right?
It's the dumbest thing.
But it's cool to look at, though, right? Let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Cleveland.
Pull it down.
Where you going to? New York?
Miami. Back to Miami.
Okay, back to Miami. Here we go.
There's like 4 scenarios.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
They clinch the playoff spot with this or that.
Right.
This person's cousin beat that person's cousin.
Yeah, like Miami wins.
Baltimore
can lose a tie. or San Diego can win, or Baltimore can lose and San Diego, plus San Diego lost a tie. And if Miami ties and Baltimore ties and San Diego ties, the Dolphins are in the playoffs.
Or Miami ties, Baltimore ties, and San Diego ties.
Yes. Look at the Seattle Seahawks though. If they can clinch the NFC West division and home field advantage throughout, if they win, right, against I think it's against the Rams this week, right? Or if San Francisco loses a tie. They got it, right? So simple stuff for them. Carolina Panthers at ATL. If Carolina wins, they're in, right? And they win the NFC South division and the first round bye, which is all we really need. Or if they lose the game and New Orleans loses the game, then we still win. Carolina can put the home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs with Carolina win, plus the Seattle loss, plus the San Francisco win. That's right. You gotta love that, right? I think it's fantastic.
The most ridiculous thing.
Right? I think it's
so
cool.
ridiculous.
I like it.
Like I win, I clinch,
yes.
That's it. Now if this team do this,
right.
That team does that, and this team flies over the mountain, and this one comes swooping up from the sea. Get out of here.
I think it's fun, man.
Oh my God.
I do. I think it's really fun. So, it is. It's fun stuff. I love looking at those scenarios, man. I don't know, but I think yeah, I just wanted to look at that, but I don't know if we got anything else before we go into these picks. You know, anything else? I mean, this is the holiday weekend on Christmas Eve. To all the TeamBoydTV, followers and fans. Christmas Eve. You got nothing to add to the scenario picture.
No.
Ain't no scenario for the New York Giants. We're going to the social media break. We'll be right back. What up, football fans? You want to stay up on the latest of TeamBoydTV happenings? Like us on our Facebook page at TeamBoydTV on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at TeamBoydTV and at VernieB73. You can also check out our YouTube page at TeamBoydTV Turbo, where there's live events, videos, among other things. You can also keep up with the latest happenings, live chat, question and answer sessions on Google Plus at TeamBoydTV. Thank you once again for watching TeamBoydTV. There we go. What is going on with that? Okay. I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, it was looking crazy. So yeah, we the pick. And look, I say all ain't lost to you. If I get 40,
this is your first time winning. Relax.
I'm trying to be humble.
Get yourself together, okay?
I'm trying to be humble here.
Get yourself right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like my team sucks this year, so did I.
What do you say? It's only 4 games back. This is the last week. You can do it.
No.
I got 4 faith, and you know I don't. I'm gonna smash it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's get into it. Sunday, no Thursday night games. Everything kicks off at 1 o'clock. Right?
And no Monday night games.
No Monday night games.
All decided on Sunday.
All decided on Sunday.
And all this week is what?
Every game is a divisional matchup.
All right.
Every single game. All right. So the first one, Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Right?
And one Pittsburgh. They're going to finish up 8-8.
Finish up 8-8. Right? And Cleveland really ain't playing for nothing. They're not even in the hunt. They're not in the playoff picture.
No, they're 4-0.
Yeah, the Steelers actually was in there, but they still got a long shot to go. But they just kind of showing that they can round themselves back out and get back into play to show that they're ready for next season. So I don't know. I'm going Pittsburgh, but I think that Cleveland might be a stunner. Cleveland might show them something. I'm going Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with the pick on that. Let's see what we got up next. We got it's a divisional matchup between which this one I don't think it means absolutely nothing, right?
To either one.
To either team, right?
So I'm gonna go Redskins because I think the Giants are gonna stick on the other side.
Right, because we know that Eli Manning ain't playing, and
I mean, it's not a big deal. It's only 5 interceptions.
right, and then we still in the middle of Operation Shutdown with RG3. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going with Washington though on the road because I think that you're right. I think Falcons will have to pull people.
I'm going with them.
But they
The
still.
last game of the season.
Okay, because they still on the whole Kirk Cousins showcase thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're still trying to sell Kirk Cousins for a couple draft picks. All right. So now this is a big one. This is a good game right here. This game can get Baltimore back in the picture. So Baltimore got to knock off the Cincinnati Bengals. Sadly, I know JB he ain't gonna like me for that. But I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals because you know that it's
a little bit last week, right? Yeah.
Wasn't mobile.
Right.
I don't know. I just see the Bengals haven't lost at home.
No. Yeah, they're pretty good. And you know, when we said in the beginning of the season that we thought that the Cincinnati will come out of that division, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're still holding true to that. All right, then we got Texans and the Titans, right? Well, I think Tennessee is a better team. I think,
I mean,
yeah.
Because the Texans are 2-13, they have no direction.
No, you don't know Tennessee. What else we got here? Okay, Jacksonville showed a little spurt toward the end of the season. But I saw Indianapolis go into Arrowhead. Then they go to Arrowhead last week, and they got it done, right? Yeah. So Indianapolis proving they ready. They Ezra B ready for the playoffs. He said he is not going to go in there and be one and done like it was last season. And you know what? He looked pretty good to me.
Okay.
So now normally for the last couple weeks we're going with Jacksonville, but I'm going with Indianapolis this week.
I'm going with Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. The Dolphins and the Jets, right? So listen, Geno Smith, man. Last couple weeks been really rough on him, man. He got destroyed in Carolina. I forget who beat him down last week. The Jets, this team is done. Miami is on a roll. I'm going with the Dolphins at home. Let me go ahead and lock up that playoff spot. Let's see who else we got. Then we got, this one, well, neither one of these teams are, I know because the Lions were on the bubble, they kind of in a tight race with Chicago.
Yeah, but I
don't think it's,
game
right, so I think they pretty much finished, right? I still like, even though Matt Stafford is kind of going through some things before they hit this final stretch of the game, and the Vikings show some promise, especially beating the Philadelphia Eagles like they did. I thought that was impressive. And I know this sounds crazy. I want Minnesota at home. Okay, yeah. No, like, no. You look kind of really good at what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we were talking about earlier. Carolina going on the road to finish up handling this little bit of business with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, we saw Atlanta Falcons going to Candlestick last night. Matt Ryan and Roddy White playing the best football I think I've seen them play all season. Steven Jackson actually was on point. He had a really good game. So Carolina think that this game is going to be an easy game. It's not. It is not. But I also think that this right here is going to be, like I said earlier in the show, it's going to be the best Carolina they'll be able to play all season. I think it's going to be their best showing just to get themselves ready to get in the playoff form. I think we're going to see big games by October. And I don't know which one of these little wide receivers. I don't know which one of them is going to be, but one of them is going to have a pretty spectacular game. Cam might even have 2 rushes. I don't know. I'm just saying, but of course I'm going Carolina.
I'm going Falcons.
Of course you are. Because you're a hater. You're a hater. You're a straight up hater. Okay. Well, you have to pick that game. Right. All the Saints got to do right here is just handle business against the Buccaneers. But you know what? The Saints at home, they prove, they beat the great South Carolina Panthers at home. You know what though? Because I know how tricky Cristiano is. I guarantee you, I'm gonna guarantee this win right here. This is one game on this docket that I can guarantee. I guarantee the Bucks walk out of the Superdome with the dub. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because that's right. Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots. Sadly, I don't think the Bucks. Yeah. So the Seattle Seahawks lost at home last week against the Arizona Cardinals, which that was a surprise to everybody. But I don't know if that was a surprise or if that was, the blueprint has been laid. I don't know. But I tell you this much right here: if Seattle loses this game, two in a row at home, the whole CenturyLink Field 12-man crap, you can shove it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to Rams.
I think the Rams can get it done. I think the Rams can get it done too. I think so.
I had this feeling that Arizona was going to do it, but you didn't want to say it out loud.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But I think these Rams, the last few weeks, that defense has been like, what?
I mean, they've been playing pretty good. I'm going to Rams on this one too. And that's going to be a good game too as well. All right. Green Bay versus Chicago. Now this game, I think it's still going to be a good game.
Has Eddie Lacy hurt or not?
No, Eddie Lacy will play.
I'm going back.
You're going to see. Now, I looked at Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall and Martellus Bennett and what's the other big guy they got? They got like 3 ginormous receivers. Those dudes are just humongous. And the Green Bay, you know what? I just think the X factor is Jay Cutler. And, you know, I can't see Jay Cutler getting outdone by. Yeah.
And the Bears are 32nd in the league against the run.
They are. You know, they like to look for stuff. But you know what? I think Jay Cutler gonna come out and look.
He's gonna have enough time on the field. I think Green Bay's gonna run that ball down their throat.
This is his last chance to secure that big contract that he's looking for, because they don't know they're going to the playoffs. So
he ain't getting that contract.
anyway, this is his last chance to prove it. I think Jay Cutler comes out there with him and his boys, Brandon Marshall and the boys, Alshon Jeffrey.
Jay Cutler gets bumped down to practice.
Oh no. Look, you know his boy Brandon Marshall ain't gonna let that happen. You know what I'm saying? I think Jay Cutler and the boys have a big day. I do. It means too much for Jay Cutler, right?
That means I have a chance to take your lead.
Okay, well here you go, San Francisco, Arizona at the toaster, right? Now this is one of them games where if Arizona pull another upset like they did last week, we don't see no San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs this year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. You know, I'm
going Cardinals because they need this game.
Right.
They're at home.
Yeah.
This is an upset.
Wow. You know, this one, I feel pressure on this one, though. Because honestly, the hater in me, there's a little bit of a hater in me, just a little tiny little bit.
Love to see 49ers out.
I would love to see the 49ers gone. I don't want to see them in the playoffs.
Look at the record. 10-5, 11-4.
Yeah.
What's that? A game apiece or what? No.
Look,
Cardinals.
I'm going to go, you know, with the hater with me. I'm going to side with the hater in me. And I want to see Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald shut it down. I want to see, and you know, when they Cardinals, because it's really about the Cardinals. It's really what it's about. So, San Francisco's out of the playoffs, right? Make everybody happy. Right.
Seattle, we think.
Oh, yeah. So, Denver Broncos against Oakland. I don't even see no upset or nothing going on here. Peyton already got his records and stuff. I don't know how long he's going to play in this game. I know he will start. You know, we were talking about, John Fox pull up and everything. He's going to start. But I don't know how long he's going to play. But
I say so half.
Yeah. But, you know, the Raiders don't pose no type of threat. So, I'm going to Broncos.
Terrell Pryor is starting, which is his agent. To make him look bad. And the coach said, this is not the real wives of Orange County. We do not have drama going on here.
Wow.
Yeah, this is about football. This is a football position. That's all it was based on.
Okay. Look, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers at home. Now, this game makes me nervous. Now, I wanted to see Alex Smith and the Chiefs go through the playoffs and prove to be a really super dominant team what they did the first 9 weeks of the season.
Chargers.
But they've been tripping up lately. How do you pick my pick? You know what? So now I'm going the other way just because, you know, I'm going the other way. Because I was going to say, I don't think the Chiefs will come out of this one alive, but I'm a root for the Chiefs because you picked the Chargers. That's the second week. You don't pick Phillip Rivers. I think you start to develop a little pressure. You develop a little pressure on Phillip Rivers.
Team prop.
All right, this is the game that's going to close out the 2013-2014 NFL season. The Philadelphia Eagles, Chip Kelly and his offense goes on the road in the Big Jerry world. Shut down the season against the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be the Chip Kelly offense on display like it was intended and scripted out to be played out. We didn't really get to do it in the beginning of the season because we had Michael Vick installed when it should have been Nick Foles from the get-go.
My presence.
Yeah.
Like if I could have any wish,
Right.
I would love to see him play.
Yeah.
Do terrible.
Right.
Jerry Jones comes down the field and fast. I put Des Bryant on the team.
That would be hilarious.
Come on, like, you are fired, and you are fired, and you are fired. I would love it.
Hey, look, you may still get that without the Tony Romo part, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, I feel like the Eagles are just way too high. I don't know if you saw what LaShawn McCoy been doing for the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. And that Cowboys defense is sorry.
Yeah, it is, man. Look, Nick Foles.
Terrible.
This dude is just, you know, I'm a Michael Vick guy. I'm all, you know, and I see that Michael Vick ain't playing the hater role in men.
Oh, no.
You know, he's all about it.
He's going to get another job.
That's right, and he got a chance. He got like a little bit of, I think he got like a 30% chance of winning the Super Bowl with these guys.
Right.
I think so. I think,
just chill.
You know, because I think Michael Vick will eventually make it into the Hall of Fame. Maybe not as a first ballot because he ain't won no championships in that. But you know, having a Super Bowl ring would be nice. Even though he didn't play to win it. But this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be the Chip Kelly offense as it was intended, right? Which we have yet to really, the only time we really saw it really played out the way it was supposed to be played out was in the preseason. But now it's going to be in a game that matter. This offense is going to be flawless. I see what Nick Foles and Deshaun Jackson and these dudes are doing. I mean, it's just, look, Dallas Cowboys are going to be ready for it. This is going to be a blowout. I mean, they're going to end the season. I'm telling you, they're going to score at least 50 points.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think it won't be a blowout.
Oh, it's going to be a blowout.
But I think the Eagles.
Okay. All right. So, let's see.
That is it.
I think that's it. That's it for us. Well, at least for game time. That's game time is done for the season. Look, it was fun though. It was good, and I think it was so cool that the season ended on Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, we
Your
just
team's doing
yeah,
good.
this has been a really fantastic season.
We can't stop you from smiling.
No, it's been good. It's been really good. It's been real good. I've been really enjoying myself, and I want to thank everybody who came along on the ride with us this season. It was a little rough because we was trying something new, trying to do the whole live thing. It's been great though. I've been enjoying it. And the people who've been watching live, look, we thank y'all. But it ain't over yet. Just because game time is done, don't mean TeamBoydTV is done.
Oh no, there's more.
There's more, right? So, starting next week, we go right into the TeamBoydTV first annual Playoff Spectacular, hosted by Miss Bernie B. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be your boy Big Q. It's gonna be your favorites, JB and Glad. Some special guests from time to time, The Voice and Louis T. Maybe some other people, you never know. So the playoffs are gonna be fun. It's gonna be fantastic. We'll have a lot of fun with this, especially since my team is in there. You guys are not. You know what I'm saying? So, it's mainly like my team in, Glass team in. JB's team might not make it, but it's still hope. It's still hope. Let's just hope JB's team don't make it to the playoffs, so we have something to mess with him about during our season. You know what I mean?
You can help me. They used to no kind of championship race, boy. They just get beside themselves.
Look, I've been trying to avoid saying this, but I feel compelled at this moment. As I've been trying to keep the whole Super Bowl, Lombardi, and Charlotte thing out of my conversation, out of my vocabulary.
Right.
But it feels right. It feels, we got the Charlotte Hornets coming back next year. Michael Jordan doing big things up there. Look, I feel big things getting ready to happen for the city of Charlotte. I really do. I really do. So, that's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna go no further. That's gonna be it. Hey, listen.
You gotta get past Atlanta this week first.
We gotta get past Atlanta first. We gotta do that first. We already talked about that. That ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be no walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? So listen. Hey, for the good folks at TeamBoydTV, I'm your boy Big Q.
And I'm Bernie D.
And once again, thank you guys for rolling with us this season. It was a blast. We will have game time back at the kickoff for the 2014 season. And until then, man, we'll see y'all next week for the Playoff Spectacular. We out. Peace.